Hi, welcome to the first episode of kind of an improv podcast. I have a topic and I just want to talk off the top of my mind, and it's not really planned, it's not really scripted. I just got a couple points that I'd like to make, and that's pretty much it. I just talk. So yeah, hi. I don't even know what to call this. I mean, I know it's called a podcast, but it could be called something different. I'll need a good title for it when I eventually post it. But yeah, I just wanted to talk a bit about my history with music. Music has been a big part of my life for as long as I can remember. And ever since I started high school, it's been a really big part of my life. I remember when, it all goes back to when I was a little kid, 2017. My last year of primary school, and I'd started doing something called music therapy, which I'll try and explain it now in the best words that I can. Was basically, I don't know what it was. It was basically just making music, which was awesome. We had someone there who was helping make the music and helping out with the recording and stuff. And about September, October, we put them all onto a little USB flash drive, which I still have. We were just in the lockup where all our stuff is from moving, and I found it in a box. And I have it here right now, and I'm going to listen to a little bit of one of the recordings. I know I'm not going to include the whole thing because it's stupid. It's embarrassing. I don't like listening to my voice when I was a young kid. So yeah, I'm going to pull one of them up now and have a quick listen. So we have one called As Years Go By, and it was put on here on the 18th of September 2017 at 3:12 in the morning. So let's have a look.
As Years Go By, take 2.
Oh.
As years go by.
Oh.
Years rolling by.
Okay, I've had to stop that. I don't like listening to that. It's so awkward. Young me was really full of energy, I still am. But yeah, I can really tell the difference, I guess. Oh my god. Yeah. But yeah, that's when music was a really big part. Well, that was when music started to become a big part of my life. And at that point, the only music I really listened to was the intro themes from Doctor Who, because I really liked the show at that point, and I also liked the intro themes, so I just made a playlist of all of the intro themes from Doctor Who, from the soundtracks that I could find on Spotify. And whenever I got the chance to in class, I would just listen to them on repeat. Not the playlist on repeat, but I'd find one that I really liked, and I'd put that track on repeat for the whole hour. Yeah, it was cool. It was cool though. But yeah, yeah. Music has always been a big part of my life. And then we move on to high school, first year of high school, where as one of our compulsory classes, as one of the classes that we were forced to do, I had to take music as one of the classes, as well as everyone else in the class that we were in. And what had happened was that at that point, I decided that I really wanted to learn the piano. I feel like at that point, I felt like, yeah, the piano is a cool thing. I like it, and I think it'd be cool to learn. So I spent the time that we were in that class, which I'm pretty sure was like a term or two, I spent teaching myself piano only using tutorials online. But the tutorials aren't what you're thinking. They weren't like sheet notes or anything, or like note shapes. What they were was there was this app called Synthesia, I'm pretty sure, where the notes would fall from the top of the screen onto the keys, which were displayed at the bottom. That is all it was. That's what I used to teach myself piano. I'm pretty sure one of the first things that I taught myself was the fail theme from Surgeon Simulator. In my very first video on my main channel, which is now privated because of reasons, there's a little clip of me humming that theme as it plays. But because I didn't get the recording figured out, there was no background music. There was no sounds in the background. There was no sounds of the game. There was just footage of the game and me talking in my microphone. So you could just imagine me on the you failed, surgery failed, and it was going so well, brutal murder achieved in a mere 48 seconds. It would just be a still image for 30 seconds, and then there'd just be a me humming. It was so weird. It was so weird. Do I have any water? I do not. I may need to go and get some water. I may need to pause the podcast and go get water. Or not, I could edit it. Yeah. I'm making it my mission in this podcast not to edit it too much. Because I feel like in Wilbur Soot's podcast, Hey and stuff, he just records it and then uploads it. I have to have a little bit more going into it because of reasons. I know that when I talk sometimes and my thoughts aren't ordered, I take very, very, very long pauses to think about what I want to say, and then I end up just repeating it. So yeah, this is going to be edited. So age 13, I decided I really wanted to learn the piano. And one of the first things I told myself was the surgery fail theme from Surgeon Simulator, which I have forgotten. I probably should learn then. And the thing is, because I wasn't that good, I couldn't do chord notes. I couldn't do a full E chord or any kind of chord on piano. That was insanely difficult for me. So I could only do the da 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 and not the other parts of the music. No go. That was a no-go area. That was no, that's out of here. Yeah. So I think I did music class for a term or two. And it was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed it. Fast forward to 2019, I've decided to take music again for a whole 2 terms, and I decided to learn more piano. I think I learned, what was it called? It's, I think it's called Moonlight. I can't remember. It was Moonlight something. It's the one that goes da 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 da. You know that one. I can't remember the name of it. I think it was Moonlight something, but yeah. If someone in the comments could correct me, that would be really appreciated. Thanks. I'll probably end up just listening to it while editing this if I find it. But yeah, that was one of the pieces that I presented. Because I remember we had a visitor in the class, and I think our music teacher, Mr. McDonald, I think, not to be confused with Ronald McDonald, but yeah, he asked for someone to volunteer to show something that we've been working on, and in a moment where my brain was not working, and I really wanted to show off what I'd been doing, I put my hand up and went, I'll do it. So I sat down at the piano and played a third of the song that I had no clue. I could not play much of the song. I think it was the middle part that I just completely cut out, and the last part, which I think I improvised. But it was not great, but I mean, it went okay. From what I can remember, it probably went worse in reality than it did in my head. But yeah, that was one of the things that we did. I think I spent the whole 2 terms working on that. And I think I also spent time working on Crumbling Dreams, Ballora's theme from FNAF. I think I worked on that during that time as well. And I think that year as well, I also learnt the theme from The Immortal and the Restless, the TV show that plays in FNAF's sister location. I learned that, which it's pretty cool, All of those things I have completely forgotten. I've got no clue. I'm going to go and grab some water, so I'll be right back very soon. Hello, I'm back. So yeah, that was some stuff that I did, all of which I'd completely forgotten. I haven't managed to remember anything from playing piano because, after a while I took a break from it. It wasn't really a break, it was basically just, I'd stopped for no reason, mainly because I was bored. But yeah, another thing that happened in 2019 was I went to my, I guess you could call it my very first performance on the piano, which was pretty cool. I don't necessarily think it was an open mic, but there wasn't a lot of people there. It's a very confusing thing to describe, isn't it? That's something that I struggle with. When something's confusing and it just becomes more complicated to describe it. It just sucks, doesn't it? It just sucks. I'm sure someone in the comments will relate to me. But yeah, I did my very first performance on the piano. It was during a event that I'd submitted a preview of a short film for. So earlier in the year with my friend Schlecko, he goes by Schlecko now. At least I'm pretty sure he does, yeah. We worked on a short film together called The YouTube Algorithm. It was this whole short film about how uploading videos it makes you start losing your mind. And it's all about personal experiences from it. Oh, sorry if you can hear that. I'll just wait for that to calm down. There we go. But yeah, I spoke from personal experiences, but these were 2 characters that I'd made up despite playing themselves, so that's a bit confusing. I was playing myself. I was acting. The character that I was playing was myself, so I was Mackenzie H, and Schlecko, at the time it was called Cub Scouter, was playing Cub Scouter. It's this whole weird thing. We were playing ourselves, but we were 2 completely separate characters, if that makes sense. The film, it wasn't that great, If for a first short film, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't that good either. It did, when I look back on it now, it was very meh. That's the only way I can describe it. It was very meh. Also, last year I managed to forget the 1-year anniversary of it, and I've also forgotten it this year, so that shows that is it really it's really been 2 years. Wow. Yeah, so that really shows that it's not really I don't really care about it anymore. It's still cool that I managed to make it all by myself, but time's passed. I've worked on bigger and better things that have never been published. But yeah. Anyway, I was part of this. At this event was this competition, this film competition, where you could submit a 3 to 5 minute short film for viewing, and if you won, you got vouchers for the cafe where the event was being held. Yeah. Because me and Schlecko at the time were the only ones who had submitted a short film, we were pretty much guaranteed the win, and we didn't know this until there was me, Schlecko, and our friends at the cafe. That was it. Those were all of the kids our age who were there. Those are all who were there. I'm very good at English. I've only been speaking it for like, 15 years? But anyway, yeah. We went there. We were given the vouchers. And also, the short film was like 10 to 15 minutes long. I forgot to mention that. So because we couldn't submit the full thing, I had to compress it down to like the part before we started explaining what the problem was. That was it. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. A 3-minute preview. And I started it like a couple nights before. I started the preview by recording a clip of me saying, "Hello. What you're about to witness is a preview of the short film The YouTube Algorithm, which will be going live at some point on the Mckenzie H YouTube channel. Therefore, we must ask that you turn all of your phones off, that you not take any photos or videos during this recording to not spoil it for those who are patiently waiting for the film." Yeah, the whole thing. And I actually went through with that. And then, sorry. And then what happened was that I actually, in the next part of the recording, I said, "Are you sure that you wish to continue and watch the YouTube algorithm preview? Please take this time to decide." And then I left a pause. I literally stopped the recording and just left it for like a few seconds. Meanwhile, on the screen, there was flashing text that said, "Please say yes now." And the Jeopardy theme was playing in the background. You know, the Think theme from Jeopardy? That was what... That's what was playing in the background. I'm going to get back to the music soon, I swear. I just wanted to go on a bit of a tangent how I submitted a short film. And yeah. But yeah, that was the whole thing. So at that event afterwards, this is where we get back into the music stuff now. After that part of the event, there was music stuff set up, like drums, guitars, pianos. So at some point, I went up and I decided to play something. And now here's the thing. Here is the thing, ladies and gentlemen. Because I'd learned this one tune, these two jingles, these two tunes, I would play them every time I turned the piano on or off. And I'm going to grab my piano now so you can listen to what they were. So give me a minute, please. I have my keyboard right here. And shush. I'm now going to play for you what I played every time I turned on the piano. And I only just learned this recently. I only just relearned this recently. That was it. The Windows XP opening theme. I think it's Windows XP. But it was one of the Windows opening. And you will never believe what played when I shut down, before I shut down the piano. I am being serious. I got up onto that stage, turned on the piano, made sure it worked. I just fiddled with a couple of the keys to make sure it was working. And then I played the Windows XP startup theme. Every time. Every time. I need water. So yeah, what I played for the performance, I played Turn Back, which is the song from that plays during the credits of the Beginner's Guide, the game. It's a really good song. It's just piano and vocals, and I decided to learn it. And again, it's one of those things that I have forgotten. I have completely forgotten it. But yeah, it went really well. I remember asking someone who was there to text me a preview of like a video of the song, and it was legit the last second of it, and then the other 2 seconds were just the clapping. the applause, and that was it. That was the whole clip. So I have no clips to show you. I've got nothing for you to listen to. But hey, you know, it went all right. It was an okay performance. I think I did really well. Yeah, so fast forward to 2020. This is the year where I started, hardcore doing YouTube on my main channel. And I remember during the live stream of my 2-year channel anniversary celebration, I played Make Your Move by Dorco and CG5. I remember playing that on the piano. Again, another one which I've forgotten. And I think after that, my video was my live stream was stopped. My live stream was stopped and removed, and I, to this day, still have no idea why. I have, YouTube, if you are somehow watching this and you have the time to reply, can you please explain to me why my live stream was removed? I honestly would like to know, because as far as I'm aware, I didn't do nothing wrong, but it just was just removed with nothing, and I actually had to appeal to get the clips back, and I only bothered with 2 of them. I tried the live stream 3 times. The first time was the actual take. The first time was the big one. The second one was, okay, minor setback, but we're going to keep going. And the third one was, okay, another minor setback, we're going to keep going. And after that, I just stopped. And I only appealed for the first 2. And that was it. I didn't bother appealing for the other one, because even if I got it back, I knew that if I started the live stream again, they would take it down. So instead, I got all my favorite clips together and I did a compilation for 2 years, which was pretty good, except for the fact that I unintentionally used copyrighted instrumentals. So yeah, but copyright wasn't a big deal for me because it wasn't a big threat. It was just like, hey, your video is using music that isn't yours. Fix this or don't. But yeah. Yeah, 2020 is when I started doing YouTube, and I think the live stream was the only time that I really showed off my piano skills. Other than that, I don't think I did a whole lot. We moved into the rent house, which we lived in for a couple months. And during that time, I think I learned the FNAF 3 mobile port, the FNAF 3 remastered theme. I think I'd learned that. I don't think I learned the theme. I think I just learned something from one of the songs. I think I learned one of the songs from that game. And after that, I pretty much just stopped playing piano once we moved into the house that I'm in now. I'd completely stopped. And I didn't pick it up until later this year. So 2020, this is the big one, because this is where most of the thing kicks off. When 25 minutes into the podcast recording, and we're already kicking it off at where it needs to be. Guitar. It's a huge part of my life now. You may know that I have an album out. I have a cover album, Your City Made Me Boring. All of the songs were recorded. Well, most of the songs were recorded on my Stag acoustic guitar. The same one that I've had for the past year, which is awesome. Yeah. I am looking to get an upgrade, though. I'm looking to get the Martin Johnny Cash DX. It's a really nice looking guitar, and I really like it because it's Johnny Cash, and I really like Johnny Cash. So, November 26th, 2020, I picked up the guitar for the first time, and I tuned it, and on that same day, I accidentally taught myself the song that I wanted to learn. And I'm going to try and play it, even though I haven't had time to... I'm going to try and play it now, even though I haven't had time to, like, revise. But it was so incredibly simple to learn it, so... That's it. The very first song that I managed to teach myself was that. The track's called VAR, and it's also from the Beginner's Guide game. It's a really peaceful, really lovely track. I do recommend listening to it. I'll leave a link to it in the description, because it's just such an incredibly peaceful song. Yeah, I love it. And I should probably learn how to play that so I can do it at, like, performances and stuff. I also want to learn Turn Back as well. Maybe when my voice comes back, because I'm not that good at singing right now, because, you know, I'm a bit sick. But yeah, yeah. I think one of the other, so... Mackenzie's first day on guitar, and he manages to teach himself a song that he'd been wanting to learn for a long time. And he managed to do it, which is awesome. I think one of the other songs that I tried to teach myself was Hurt. The Johnny Cash cover of Hurt. You know, I hurt myself today to see if I still feel. I focus on the pain. You know, that song. Another good song that if you do own a guitar, I would recommend learning. I'm going to come back to the fact that I'm not a very good guitar teacher. Especially because I've been playing for a year and I'm still learning stuff. But we'll come back to that later. I'm going to keep it beside my bed just in case I need it again. Yeah. So that was one of the other songs that I want... What the fuck is going on? Well, sorry. A lot of stuff has just been going on in my group chat that I've missed. Wow. Wow. I literally have nothing to say. What the fuck are people in my group chat doing? I have got no clue. I'm calling them out in this. This is basically what this is. This podcast is about calling out the people in my group chat. There's just someone's just attached a picture and just said they're having gay sex, Your Honor. But anyway. But yeah. Back to the music. The reason that I wanted to learn acoustic guitar, I love how we're segueing away from that. But the reason that I wanted to learn acoustic guitar is because Johnny Cash played guitar. Johnny Cash, if you don't know who Johnny Cash is, he is a country musician. And before you dismiss actually listening to his music, listen to some of his popular stuff. Folsom Prison Blues, Ring of Fire, I Walk the Line, A Boy Named Sue, stuff like that. They may be like country music, but they're not modern. Like, that's the thing. I'm gonna talk about this now. I think the reason that a lot of people dismiss country music as a genre is because of modern country music. But when olden country music, like 1950s and 60s sort of country music, is one of the best music genres that there is. Because Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson, you know, country artists like those who basically made some of the best songs of their time in that period. Like, it's like, even if they are like country songs, like songs about like America and stuff, they're not all like riding around in a tractor in blue jeans with a cold beer by my side. They're not all like that. So please, I do encourage you, if you don't really like modern country music, listen to some of the older country music, because they're good songs. And it infuriates me when a lot of people just dismiss country music as like a genre, like a full genre. To me, there's like two different kinds of country music. There's like olden country music, which is like 1900s, and there's modern country music. Modern country music, bad, no good, don't like it, don't go there. You stay over in the corner where you belong. But olden country music, like 1900s, you come here. I want you. You get over here. That is what infuriates me. But yeah, now that I'm done with that little ramble, the reason I wanted to learn acoustic guitar was because Johnny Cash played it, and I thought it would be a pretty cool thing to learn. So a couple of the tracks that I wanted to learn. Ring of Fire. The chords on Ring of Fire go G, D, and C. They don't go in that order, but it's G, C, G, and then G, D, G for the verse, and then D, C, G, D, C, G, and then just more G, and then C, G, D, G. That's it. That's Ring of Fire. That's the chorus, that's the verse and chorus of Ring of Fire. That is all you need. But for some reason, it took me a while to switch from G to C. So I did this thing. I found another way of playing the G chord, which is playing G. But to play the C chord, I could also move my index and middle finger down one string. So you can hear the similarities, especially in the last couple of strings. Now that's an actual C chord. It sounds very different, but it also sounds so similar when it comes to those two notes. So that's how I played Ring of Fire for a long time before actually learning that there is an easier way to play the C chord. So I ended up learning that. And another one that I wanted to learn, it was like early 2021, I think it was like April or something, I don't know. And I really wanted to learn Wilbur Soot's Your New Boyfriend. It's such a good song. Yeah. You know? It's a good song. It's a good song. And it was at that point that I started getting really into Wilbur Soot's music. I wanted to learn that song, but then I realized that I needed to buy a capo. So I bought a capo and a guitar strap while I was visiting Rangiora. I bought a capo and a guitar strap, and I used those. Then I discovered bar chords. And it's very difficult. It's a very difficult way of describing them. Imagine an E chord. Alright? If you're a beginner musician, I apologize. I'm going to explain this horribly, but imagine you have an E chord. Now, a way that you could turn an E chord into an F chord is by making the E form on the next fret, but barring your first finger along all the strings on the first fret. So it turns from into... That is an F. Performed horribly, I know. I'm basically muting the last couple of strings, but that's my finger's fault. Yeah, that's what bar chords are, and you can basically slide them along. That's an example of bar chords. There's the E, and then there's just the rest three, which are bar chords. I'm sorry, I'm not good at explaining music theory. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so I discovered bar chords, and trying them for the first time hurt my wrist. After I successfully did it, I couldn't do it for a while, and then when I did, it hurt my wrist a lot. Because I would play the same tune, just the same, like, part of Your New Boyfriend over and over again, and it would start to hurt my wrist. And I talked to a musician friend, and they said, don't worry, that's fine, you'll get over it, and I did. But it still kind of hurts a bit when I use it for a long time. I'm in Love with an Ego, that's another great song by Wilbur, but it's all bar chords. I kid you not, it is all bar chords. So after playing the full song for 4 minutes, my wrist starts to hurt, which is why instead of doing a bar chord on the 3rd fret, I just put a capo on the 3rd fret and make the chord shape, and then I do the other 2 as bar chords. That's what I do, alright? I'm sure musicians are going to hate me, but that's what I do. Because it's easier. Like, if there's a compromise of choosing something that's easier but also sounds very, very, very similar to what I'm trying to do, I'm gonna do it. Alright? Sue me. It's just how I roll. I'm sorry if I enrage someone. They're like, oh, you're supposed to do it the right way. That's how it's meant to be done. I'm sorry. Alright? I have no real defense. But yeah. So after learning bar chords, my wrist started to feel better, and after that I started learning a bunch more songs because I knew a bunch more skills. I know a lot of Johnny Cash songs, a lot of Wilbur Soot songs, and I've been branching out into a couple different musicians and bands. Los Campesinos, I know Romance is Boring and Knee Deep at ATP. I know a couple of other ones, and I want to learn a couple of other songs for my band, because I'm in a band, Bad Wi-Fi. Yeah. So, there's a couple really cool songs that I want to learn in the band, because I feel like we could do really good well. Yes. As I previously established, I'm very good at English. Yeah. So recently I got back into playing the piano, which is awesome, and it's been really nice. It's been really nice doing some stuff. I know a couple things, which I am now going to pick up and play. I know a couple things. I've had this piano since 2018. So yeah, here we go. Here's a couple of things that I know. It's not a yo hoodie, it's a work of art. I get turned on by my reflection in passing cars. I'm looking for a window to another world where I don't feel as lost and bored. I just don't wanna be a soft boy anymore. I wanna be yours. That's one thing that I know, Soft Boy, in its entirety. I also know I Am Very Smart. I'm a genius. I'm really fucking smart. I'm a genius. I'm really smart. Ba 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 da 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 ba ba da da. Ba 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 da 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 ba ba da da. If you don't know I'm Very Smart, it's another song by Wilbur. He says that it's one of his worst songs. I think that it's pretty good. I also know a bit of Welcome to the Internet by Bo Burnham. Probably one of the most popular recent internet songs. Those are a couple of things that I learned. I also learned Ring of Fire while I was in Queenstown on a trip for my birthday, and I've forgotten it. You know what? I'm going to try and learn it now, because, yeah, why not? Love is a burning thing, and it makes a fiery ring. There you go. Some of the songs that I've learned on the piano just recently. It's going better than it was. At the rate that I'm going, I'll probably learn 4 new songs by the end of next year. But hey, I learn at my own pace, and it's fun, Since starting guitar, I've picked up a lot of other different instruments. My electric guitar, which you can hear traces of in my album, Your City Made Me Boring. You can hear it in It's All Futile, It's All Pointless. And that's pretty much the only one, because the electric guitar in Losing Face was performed and recorded by Ben Roper, because I tried playing the riff on that day and it did not go well, so I taught him and he played it perfectly, which is awesome. But it's all futile, it's all pointless, I know that. Yeah. And I'm hoping to use it more in a future album. I do have ideas for another future album. I actually have ideas for another future 3 albums. 3 albums. But I probably won't be going... But like I said in the live stream that I did just recently, I probably won't be going back into the studio until like January next year. Even though I kind of want to go back in, but I know that people are going to be away for the holidays. So if I did want to, I probably left it too late. But I am going camping on New Year's. So that's going to give me an opportunity to write some original material, original instrumentals, not lyrics. I'm not good at writing lyrics. I discovered that I'm not good at writing lyrics. Actually, you know what? I am going to play you something on the podcast. I'm going to edit in something on the podcast. I'm going to find the first and only take I have of the first song that I tried to write lyrics for. I was told by friends that the instruments were good, the chord progression was good, but the lyrics were not, and so I didn't work on it anymore. I kind of just shelved it, but I still have the original recording, and I recorded the lyrics in parts because I did not memorize the full song. But this is when I was just playing acoustic guitar before I picked up any other instruments. So, enjoy the one and only time that you are ever going to hear She's Gone, written by Mackenzie H. Here you go. On Discord last night you said to my face, I don't want to see you anymore. Tears filled my eyes and sadness overwhelmed me. I just wanted to cry on the floor. You gave me reasons why I wasn't the one, and I screamed, why don't you love me? My sadness turned into anger and I yelled, you're just a big fat B-word. So now I'm 13 and I'm all alone. I've got no one in my life, and I thought a few years later down the line that she would be my wife. But she's gone, and she was wrong. She's gone, and she was wrong. Later, and who do I see? You with another man. He gives you more love than I ever could. You know what, I hate you, Dan. He's such a frickin' a-hole to me, and no, I will not swear. But please know, even though you're seeing him, I still care. I'm 16, I'm still alone. I thought I'd have a girl in my life, somebody a few years later down the line to call my wife. But she's gone, and she was wrong. She's gone, and she was very wrong. You haven't been on Discord in 8 months. Why'd you have to be like this? I think it's important for you to know that I still haven't had my first kiss. There's pictures of you on my wall. The therapy and the meds aren't working. I still have that video saved from your TikTok of you twerking. There's a reason I'm over obsessed. It's 'cause I'm broken and damaged inside. And even though you've moved on, I still have to ask, will you be my bride? But she's gone, and she was wrong. She's gone, and she was wrong. Actually, you were right. I'm not the one for you. And in a certain way, I guess I knew too. and now you know why I don't write lyrics. You can kind of tell that I was going for the kind of Wilbur kind of vibe of like sad boy, like toxic masculine ideals, you know, that kind of stuff, and like obsession over a woman. That's the kind of vibe that I was going for. It just not does it. It doesn't do it subtly. It just screams in your face, Wilbur Soot, knock off, knock off, knock off. But hey, I tried. We've been recording for 47 minutes, and I've said all I want to say. I still need to talk about the band, yeah. About like 2 months ago, I joined a band called Bad Wi-Fi with my friends Liam and Finn. Finn is the band leader and the drummer. Liam is the bassist. I joined as the guitarist and singer. And in the 2 months that we've been going pretty well. We're still doing at-home practices because our bassist does not actually own a bass at home. We had to use the bass that was at the school. But when he finally gets a bass, we'll be able to do performances from the drummer's house. He will be able to do practices there, which is awesome because I have... how many songs is it? I have a lot of songs that I want to show the band. I have so many songs, so many ideas that I want to pitch to the band, and I'm gonna tell you a couple of them now. I'm gonna explain how many are in my playlist. So in my playlist of songs, I have 46 songs, and this is in the Bad Wi-Fi song ideas playlist. Songs that I want to pitch to the band, and in there are some ones like "You'll Understand When You're Older," a version of Jubilee Line, "White Wine in a Weatherspoon," "Soft Boy," "Romance is Boring," "Knee Deep at ATP," "Looking Out for You," and there's a bunch of other ones like "I'll Be There for You," which is the theme from Friends, "Moving to New York" by the Wombats, "The Power of Love" by Huey Lewis and the News, I think it's that, and there's also a couple of other ones like "Renegade Fighter" by Zedd, "Should I Stay or Should I Go" by The Clash, KMD by American Poetry Club, and for some reason the Valve intro theme from Half-Life. I don't know why I put that in, but hey, it was very funny after the song faded out, because I've got crossfade on Apple Music. I know, I've got Apple Music, you know. I'm poor though. I know, I've got Apple Music. But yeah, it's so funny, like the song is fading out, and while it's fading out, you can hear the little like eerie kind of things that here, and then it just goes dun. You know, the Valve intro. It's so funny, and I kind of want to learn it because I think that'll be funny. I have a bunch of ideas for the band as like jokes that we could do on stage. Like, you know, One Day where it goes like da 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 and stop. And then it just cut there. We just cut the song there. And then we just move on to the next thing. It's gonna be so funny when we finally perform it. Yeah, I have a lot of really good ideas for the band that I want to pitch to them. And don't tell anyone, alright? This is top secret. But I'm planning on writing lyrics for the band as a way to practice. So maybe you'll see that sometime next year. I do feel like 2022 is going to be a big year for music. Yeah. So let's end on a question. Where is the future of Mackenzie H music going? It's going to be going places. 2022, I feel, is going to be a really good year for my music. As I've previously mentioned, I've got 3 more albums that I want to record, so it's just a matter of picking which one goes first, practicing, and then getting into the studio and recording them. And I could probably crank those out in like a couple days. But yeah, it's all about the promotion, getting people hyped up for it. I did it on my last album, which, by the way, just hit 100 views. turning a month old. So that's pretty awesome. So thank you guys so much. I hope all 100 of you enjoyed it. I hope you did. I hope those 100 views aren't individual. I hope you guys came back to listen to the album some more. Yeah. Yeah, so if you like tracks like that, you can expect more from that in the future. I do plan on running and performing my own concert, like my own performance, like show, because I feel like that's something that I can tick off my bucket list. A fun fact, I want to start writing a bucket list for 2022, but not because I'm going to die in 2022, just stuff that I want to get done in the year. Like New Year's resolutions, but I'm not going to forget about them immediately. And one of the things that's on there in my mind right now is running my own performance, which should be cool. I have a couple people I want to ask to do stuff, like lighting and sound. Yeah, and I also want to do a couple of open mics and like pub performances from the band Bad Wi-Fi, which should be cool because once we feel confident in learning like all 40 of the songs, we can finally do like a performance and have like a set list of like 3 songs per set. And just be like, yeah, we'll do this, and then this, and we won't have any worries. And maybe we'll squeeze this one in, but only because it's funny. Like and stop, like that one. Yeah, I think, I've just tried to choose, like, a bunch of songs that people will know, so that, like, we can have, like, everyone who is there, like, singing along. I feel like that's a really cool thing. Yeah. So yeah, music is going places in 2022. And I hope you guys somewhat enjoyed the song that I showed you of She's Gone. I hope you did. You probably won't, but hey, you know, it's all good. That's all I really have to say. That's my history with music. Thank you guys so much for listening to this rambly podcast for the past 50 minutes. 50 minutes is pretty good, you know, like an hour, 50 minutes is pretty good. I might make another one when I feel like just making one. So yeah, thank you all very much for listening, and I will see you all next time. Bye!